Good morning.
Good morning, Kathy. Good to see you.
Good morning.
So we are live streaming. So I have the God call over, so I'm going to ring the chime.
Oh, nice.
Here's your God Call with Reverend Bill.
We've all had the experience of eating a piece of fruit that's not quite ripe yet. There's a process that happens as the fruit grows and matures and eventually gets to the point where it's juicy and succulent and flavorful and wonderful. And before it's ripe, it's really not ready for consumption. Well, what's going on in your life that's ripening now? What's getting ready to be that juicy, delicious wonderfulness that's coming next?
Open the gates and seize the day. Don't be afraid and don't delay. Nothing can break us, no one can make us give our right away. Arise and seize the day. Now is the time to seize the day. Send out the call and join the fray. Wrongs will be righted if we're united. Let us seize the day. Friends of the friendless, seize the day. Rise up the torch and light the way. Proud and defiant, we'll slay the giant. Let us seize the day. Neighbor to neighbor, father to son, one for all and all for one. Open the gates and seize the day. Don't be afraid and don't delay. Nothing can break us, no one can make us give our rights away. Neighbor to neighbor, father to son, one for all and all for one.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Thank you, Jeff Lesser. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And good morning and happy Easter, New Thought, Philadelphia. It is right smack dab in the middle of springtime. I think Easter's a little late this year, so we get to have a wonderful springtime experience. And for those of us who are in the Philadelphia area, it was like 80 degrees yesterday. So it was just a real summertime tease for us. We're on Zoom today, and you know the rules on Zoom. Keep yourself muted except when we're going to be sharing or making a joyous noise together. Let's go ahead and joyfully noise. Go ahead and unmute and repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I
I open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
I know that my Easter experience of blossoming is happening now.
I know
that my Easter experience of blessing is happening now.
And love is at hand right here.
And love is at hand right here.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, mute that microphone one more time as I remind you again that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. So whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you, and welcome home. We believe there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we're each using that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. The way we like to say it around here for short, your new life begins with a new thought. If you have an extraneous electronic device on hand that might be distracting you sometime in the next hour or so, go ahead and put it on shush, and that way you won't be distracted, and we can turn ourselves within and be connected to our spiritual nature and to community together. I'm Bill Marcioni. I'm the spiritual director at New Thought Philadelphia. Our music today is the illustrious Jeff Lesser, not only a musician, not only a teacher, but now a published author. Boom. Your Voice is an Instrument. Learn How to Play It by Jeffrey Lesser. Apparently, we're the first copy that he's seen show up in somebody's mailbox. It was published this week, so very, very exciting to have that. Our practitioner today is Joe Catanzaro, RSCP, and Joe is going to open us the way we open everything with a practical prayer.
There we go. Good morning, everyone. Happy Easter. What does that mean? Since the beginning of time, human beings, wherever they lived, celebrated rebirth, fertility of the spring, the rising, the resurgence, the revival, the revitalization, the rejuvenation. So I invite each of you to think about those words and what they mean to us, what they can bring into our lives. Because our source is that one power and presence, that one love, that one intelligence. We are connected to that. It works through us, in us, and as us. It binds us together with each other because we share that common source. So let's celebrate that resurrection of consciousness, of Christ consciousness, of the power of love, the power of belief, the power of the source that we all share, the power within. However, we choose to bring this into our lives. Abundance, love, prosperity, harmony, peace, joy, connection, unity, all of it. I am grateful. I know that as we come together today, we embody all that. We create it, we release our word to claim it. So I will do that. I will claim all of this good for each one here. I will allow it, I will accept it, and with gratitude, I will release my word to the law that always says yes, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. Yeah, Easter is no more spiritual a day than any other day, but if you're feeling more spiritual, then roll with it. It's not the day, it's you. The reason we do a prayer, by the way, is because it changes something in the experience of life that we're having. And it actually works. It really works. If somebody has a prayer works story about a prayer that you've been doing that you'd like to give some voice to, Joe's hand went up right away. I love the people who have been through practitioner training. They're fine-tuned to be paying attention to when the prayers are working. Go ahead, Joe.
So this is almost partly a story about how worry is a form of prayer.
Uh-oh.
Because I have been trying to get to the DMV to get my real ID for a long time. I've been there twice and it didn't work out. But at any rate, I decided, okay, I'm going to be near the media one tomorrow. I'm going to go. So I get there and it's a little bit late. It's like 3 o'clock. The place is completely packed, completely packed. And the guy said, well, you might be here for a couple of hours or so. I said, all right, I'm just going to do it. I was out of there by, I don't know, 4:45, 4:30. It went so fast. I couldn't even read the thing I brought to read because I had to pay attention to the way the numbers were going. It was painless. It was wonderful. I still can't believe it was that easy. So
I love
prayer
when that
works.
happens. I love when that happens. Congratulations, Joe. And Robin, who's mid-move.
Thank you, Reverend Bill. My move has been, as some of you know, has been a journey in the making. I am finally packing up this apartment, moving next Sunday, and a prayer work story completely in action of how everything has aligned. And for next week, it is going to be a seamless transition from one province to another, and things that I had worried and prayed over are now confirmed, and it's just taking one thing, having faith in what will be and looking forward to the future. So a prayer work story in action from way back in early 2024 to now. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, wonderful. And for any of you here in the United States who are thinking about moving to Canada, Robin is moving to Canada, but she's moving from another part of Canada. So apparently that makes it even easier. Jeff Lesser, you had your hand up?
Yes, I did. So, as we were just talking earlier, about a year and a half ago, nothing was happening for me professionally. I felt invisible. As I said to Bill, I feel like I can't even get arrested. And so we worked together, and I started putting out there, sharing my talents with locally and the world, the broader, and kept praying on that. And wow, so look at me now. Here locally, I directed one of my favorite musicals. This year, I'm directing one of my favorite plays in Los Angeles coming up in September. My book, which I've been working on for 10 years, is finally published on singing. And then globally, I directed an opera about the Holocaust in Cleveland that was filmed, and it got picked up in Berlin, and I'm leaving for Berlin next week to be on the panel when they show the opera. So it's working.
Ach du Lieber.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
It is wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you have a kazoo at the handy, we're going to trumpet in the announcements shared with us by Dina.
That's so silly. On mute. That's not going to be helpful. This Easter basket of information is on the website at newthoughtphilly.org. Sign up there for the weekly newsletter so we can keep in touch. There will be another supportive gathering for challenging times on Zoom next Sunday, April 27 at 7 p.m. Join New Thought friends from around the world for an open, compassionate gathering where we can share our experiences or simply listen. Join us this week for a 15-minute meditation on Zoom. Meet a new friend or an old one. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings this week are also on Insight Timer Live. We've expanded your ability to interact within our community. Use the new online form to share your contact info, and we'll be able to more easily reach each other. The Practical Prayer podcast this week is Principle with Carol and Rev Bill. Listen where you get your podcasts. You can also join the live recording session on New Thought Media Network tomorrow at 1 p.m. The Power of Eight Intention Circle meets every Monday evening from 6:30 to 7 to help bring new experience into the lives of the group members. God calls are a half minute of inspiration. We heard one at the beginning of the celebration. You can get them on your phone 4 times every week. Begin your free 2-week trial at godcall.org. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Insight Timer, and YouTube. Follow, subscribe, like, and share, and join the 2,162 spiritual adventurers in our group on meetup.com. Your financial support keeps New Thought Philly going. Please make a tax-deductible donation by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit card, or debit card. Thank you to the team that makes our celebrations work and has fun doing it. We get together before the celebration to put the pieces in order. To join the joy, email our volunteer coordinator. Next Sunday is online with Turning Poison into Medicine with guest speaker Reverend Sonia Mathis. She shows how the Buddhist concept around things that are, quote, bad for us can be used for, quote, good, is a universal idea for transformation. Live original music by Susan Catania. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration, Joe is available for a quick transformational miracle in a minute prayer. And we'll leave the Zoom meeting open after the celebration for casual conversation.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is the time, if we're meeting in person, that we go around the room and hug each other. And when we're meeting on Zoom, and we also have a blessing for people. I kind of forget about the blessing because I'm like all about the hugging, but that's just me personally. So we have a blessing for our first-time visitors. So I'm seeing one name that's there that's new. If you are here for the first time, please just accept and receive this blessing. The rest of us are going to send this out. And I'm also going to invite Bobby Chalucci, who is back as a special guest, I guess. So you also accept this one. The rest of us are going to rub our hands together, feel that warmth, and feel that love. And send that out. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you for shining that light and sharing that love with us today. And welcome. Jeff's going to do another song for us, and as he does, you can you can scroll through images on your device or go into gallery view so we can make eye contact with the people who we're in community with. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Jeff. Every week we light the flames of faith to remind us that every spiritual practice and religion brings a little bit of value, and we get to skim the best of it off the top. And today Scopy is going to lead us as we light the flames.
Good morning, New Thought, Philadelphia. We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine, feminine, and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for earth-based traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. The reading today comes from the book New Thoughts for Today, which is from the affiliated New Thought Network. Members got to make a contribution. And this one is for Easter, and it's from Donna Baranier. It's going to be shared with us by Nia.
Okay, good morning. So the reading is called Easter, and it starts with a quote from Alan Cohen. Do not wait until the conditions are perfect to begin. Beginning makes the conditions perfect. Easter is a day in which we are reminded of the eternality of life, rebirth, and transformation. Easter is a time of new beginnings, of shedding that which no longer serves us and stepping into something new. This is a sacred time of the year in which we let go of what is no longer serving us, whether that is a belief system, a thought, or a habit. I have always loved Easter because it is a holiday that reminds me that life is eternal. Jesus taught this through the Easter story. From a metaphysical stance, Jesus came to teach us what is inside of us, that the divine dwells within each of us, and that we are powerful beyond our imagination. We are invited to look beyond appearances of lack or limitation and know that God is our source. Because life is eternal with no beginning and no end, I believe it is a reminder that I have the ability to recreate myself or transform my thinking when I choose to shift my consciousness or make some other change in my life. Through spiritual practice, prayer, meditation, journaling, or a different spiritual practice that you enjoy, we are giving the gifts of change, healing, and transformation. And the affirmation is, today I celebrate new beginnings. I open my heart and mind to something new and exciting.
It's not too late. We should be giving. Only with love can we climb. It's not too late. Not while we're living. Let's put our hands out in time. There's got to be a morning after. If we can hold on through the night, we have a chance to find the sunshine. Let's keep on looking for the light. Oh, can't you see a morning after? It's waiting right outside the storm. Why don't we cross that bridge together and find a place that's safe and warm? It's not too late, we should be giving. Only with love can we climb. while we're leaving. Let's put our hands out in time. There's got to be a morning after. We're moving closer to the shore. I know we'll be there by tomorrow. And we'll escape the darkness. We won't be searching anymore. There's got to be a morning after. There's got to be a morning after. There's got to be a morning after.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ah. It is Easter Sunday today, which we've mentioned before. It's kind of the heart of springtime. And Easter is a story of death and rebirth. It's a story of spiritual evolution. It's a story of crucifixion and resurrection. And the title of the talk today is What Can I Do? And it's a little bit informed by the story of Jesus the man turning into Jesus the metaphor and the Christ consciousness and the Christ light shining. We celebrate a little bit of that story around the winter solstice with the birth of the Christ light, Christmas time. And that story keeps on coming up. There's a story that's been in my mind lately, which is about a forest fire. There's a huge forest fire that's going and all the animals are running out of the forest. And there's this little hummingbird that's going in the opposite direction, flying back into the forest. And one of the other animals, one of the squirrels or raccoons, just says, "What's the matter with this goofy hummingbird? What are you doing?" He stops the hummingbird and says, "What are you doing?" The hummingbird is carrying water in its little tiny beak. And it carries the water and it drops it on the fire and it comes back out and it tells the other animal, I'm doing what I can to put out the fire. Goes and gets some more water and flies back and does it again. And the other animal says, "That's pointless. Why are you even trying to do that? You can't do anything." And the hummingbird says, "Well, that's all I can do. This is what I can do." And the point is, what can I do? Sometimes we feel powerless. What can we do? That story actually reminded me of one that I've known for a while and then got made popular a little bit in the movie Catch Me If You Can. And it's a story about, for some reason, two frogs find themselves trapped in a butter of cream. They're in a dairy and they fall into the bucket, and the sides are really steep and the cream is really deep, and they're like treading water because otherwise they're going to drown. They're going to drown in this bucket of cream, and they don't know what can possibly happen. And so they're treading water and they're treading water, and nothing's happening, and they're talking to each other. This is the end. This is doom. One says, "I just got to keep going. We got to keep going." And they're both keep going. And one of them, who figures out what's going to happen, who understands that they're doomed, stops treading water and drowns. And the other one, who's not smart enough to understand that it's completely pointless, continues treading water. And that story repeats itself over and over again. There's the story of the scrappy insurgency, where somebody is trying to reject the status quo. There's something untoward or malevolent or evil or uncomfortable or somehow undesirable that's going on. And then the scrappy insurgency says, "I don't know what I can do. I don't know what it's possible for me to change, but I got to do something. So I'm going to give it a try." And they may seem forlorn. It might seem like there's a completely unfair fight. So here's Princess Leia and the Death Star. We know that story. So this is Darth Vader and the Empire, and she's just there, getting her feisty on. Yesterday, I went to another protest in Independence Mall in Philadelphia, the No Kings protest. So it's a bunch of people, carrying signs around Center City, Philadelphia, and making our voices heard. What can I do? That's what you can do. And then it turns out that the story of Easter, which starts with Jesus going into Jerusalem the week before, is a protest march. And they're all, there on Palm Sunday waving the palm fronds at him because he didn't agree with the way that the church was running things. He thought there was a different possibility. There's something more that could be going on. And so he went in his scrappy insurgency to take a stand. The same thing comes up for us all the time. And the New Thought teaching reminds us to look a fact in the face and know something better. We get to engage. We get to take part. We get to know something better. We get to be part of the scrappy insurgency. So we know what happened with Princess Leia and the Death Star. It turns out that the scrappy insurgency did okay, and that set up another 9 or 15 movies because the Death Star couldn't necessarily survive what the scrappy insurgency was bringing about. Jesus went through a crucifixion process, which, according to what the scripture says, it was not the most comfortable process for him. He got a little upset with God, like, why'd you let this happen? But went through the process, and the crucifixion made way for the resurrection. That's what we celebrate on Easter Sunday. So as any of us are going through some experience of loss or destruction or something untoward and unacceptable and undesirable happening, perhaps it is the setup for a resurrection. Perhaps there's a way for something to blossom out of that. And our job is to engage with the story, to not hide from the story, not pretend that it isn't happening, not, duck out of the way so that it can happen to somebody else, but engage with the story, to look a fact in the face and know something better. And we don't know what that better could be. There's a story of a little hummingbird carrying the water into the raging fire. What can I do? What can I possibly do? All I see, little tiny hummingbird, huge forest fire. But of course, what happens next is it starts to rain. And it rains and it rains and it rains. And the hummingbird has done everything that it can. Has it made the change? I don't know. Might not seem that way from the outside. But between the hummingbird and the rain, the fire went out and the forest continued to be the forest that it was going to be. And that stupid frog stuck in the cream that just kept there treading water, didn't know enough to give up. Well, I'm not sure if you've ever churned butter, but it starts with cream and you just keep on kicking. And what that frog did is it churned itself up a little island of butter and just sat there cool and comfortable until the milkmaid came along and said, how did this frog get in here, and threw it out? It is possible that we do not know the answer to the story as we're engaging in it. Perhaps we can let go of everything that we think that we know to be open to a new possibility and see what's going on. It is possible that that crucifixion experience where everything seems lost is not the end of the story. Maybe there's a way that we can engage, that we can be present to what's going on. Do we have to take the weight of the whole world on our shoulders every time we do that? No. No, we don't have to carry the whole thing ourselves, but we get to engage. We get to be part of the process. We get to pay attention. And, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the country now, and some people are like jumping in, and some people are running away, and some people, I just can't deal with it. I'm not going to pay any attention at all. And I'm not going to criticize or judge, but what I am going to suggest is find a way to pay enough attention that when your cue comes along, when the thing happens that tells you, this is mine to do, you notice it. You see, this is something that I can do. This is a way that I can bring some more good into this. And by paying attention just a little bit, we have the opportunity to bring something new into experience. And I found myself thinking a lot about paying attention lately because, and I did a talk about this, some weeks back. Because we're now in an attention economy where the people who are on social media and online, what they're doing is they're selling ads and they want to have our attention. So when we are investing our attention, whether it's in a game or a social media feed or which news we're going to be looking at, we are paying with our attention. And I got a wonderful bit of insight on just exactly what our attention is worth. When you pay attention to something, how much value do you attach to the time and the energy and the attention that you're putting into something? The way that I came up with the value of this, or was reminded that there is a value of this and it can be measured somehow, is artificial intelligence. Now, I didn't just ask artificial intelligence what's attention worth, because it doesn't know. But there's some scientists who realized that as powerful and as smart seeming as artificial intelligence is, and there's some things that it's really good at. Generative artificial intelligence, the large language models, they've taken everything that humanity knows and they've digitized it and they put it in there so it can reference everything in the library really quickly and cross-reference and come up with this is the best that anyone's ever said, or this is the thing that people have said the most often. And it comes off seeming very, very smart. But it turns out there are some things at which artificial intelligence sucks. I mean, really bad. So I'll give you an example. This is the first test that they did. And up at the top here, there are a couple of examples. So this is what you start with, and this is what you wind up with. So it's these shapes inside of the square here, and then that's the result. And then there's another example down here, these shapes, and it winds up with this result. And using that pattern, the instructions are to fill in this one. So starting out with this, where do you put the magenta dots in this one so that it matches the other one? And I don't know if if you have enough time to do that, but it seems pretty clear that what you do is there are 3 dots that make a corner, and the 4th dot is where the little dot is where the colored one goes. And in fact, that's the correct answer on that. It's really easy for people to do that. When they gave that to the first generation AI systems, they completely failed. They could not figure it out. They just couldn't do it. So now there's a prize, there's a contest, there's a test to see how smart the general artificial intelligence programs can get at doing things where they're given some examples and have to figure out from the examples what the solution on the next one is. That's completely different than the way generative AI works, which is just to memorize everything that's already known and look for the patterns in that. This is to take some patterns and find the original piece. So here's the second generation one, where you start out with these 3 samples, and then you're given these shapes, and what's the final one going to look like? So again, this is the prompt, this is the solution. This is a prompt, this is a solution. This is a prompt, this is a solution. This is the prompt. Whoops, down here. What's the solution? 1,400 AI systems failed to complete that one. This is recently. 1,400 different AI systems failed to do that. And there was a very special, very fancy one that was able to come up with the answer. And by the way, it took me a couple of minutes to do this. It would take you a couple of minutes to do this. The AI system that did that still didn't win the prize. And the reason that it didn't win the prize is because it took $1.5 million worth of computing power and electricity to get the answer. We can pay attention and come up with that answer in a minute or two. Do not underestimate the value of your attention. This is $1.5 million worth. What can you do? Keep at it. Pay attention. Engage in the story. Allow that infinite intelligence, that divine guidance that knows what's coming next, to suggest something to you. And pay attention when the guidance shows up, because there's a step for you to take. And the blessings unfold for us and through us and as us. Have a most joyous, happy Resurrection Day.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only it seems I've lost my way. When I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much. I dropped a I dropped a link to the article. It was in the New York Times about that the AI test. So if you want to go back and dig into it, you can click on it in the chat there. Things are different and wonderful and uplifting and unusual on Easter Sunday. One of the things that's happening is because there's an Easter event going on with the family, Breen and Jane are not here, and Jesus has ascended. No, actually, he's in an airplane. He's at 38,000 feet on his way to Florida to pick up somebody's car. So he's not participating today. And that means that I have the rare opportunity to lead us in the meditation. So what I invite you to do is get comfortable. Feel yourself anchor. Be seated right where you are. Allow yourself to be present in this time and this place. Let yourself feel yourself pressing into your seat. Let yourself feel the seat pressing back up into you. Be fully present in the right here and the right now. Consider the phrase, what can I do? And we can say that in exasperation. What can I do? From a place of smallness and powerlessness. What can I do? Feeling like a hummingbird that's trying to put out a forest fire. What can I do? And it's also possible to engage in that same question by acknowledging our divine power and presence, knowing that we are expressions of an infinite creative power, a limitless intelligence, a divine force, that one that has created everything and that continues to create, that's sharing itself as us and as all of its creation. When we get into that quiet space, we connect and commune with the infinite. And we ask, what can I do? There's an answer. That infinite intelligence, that divine presence, that still small voice within is able to make a suggestion of something that might be done. As we look a fact in the face and know something better, as we still ourselves in meditation and prayer, as we open ourselves up to guidance, there is every possibility that that guidance, that next perfect step is revealed, and we are then empowered to take that next step and then repeat and continue to invite the guidance. So as we go into the quiet, allow yourself to let go of all the things you thought you knew. Surrender the conclusions, the thoughts that everything that has been this way up until now is the way it's got to be in the future. And as you let go of that, open to something new, open to a different possibility. Invite that still small voice to make a suggestion. We'll take a couple of minutes to do that together.
What do we pay attention to? That requires our attention. It's powerful. It has meaning. It requires our attention just on what we're focused on. Today we've talked about resurrection. Pay attention to that for a minute. What does it look like? Form that mental equivalent of rising, rejuvenation, rebirth, revival. When we pay attention to what it is that we want, that we'd like to have in our lives, we use that power from the One. Be grateful for it and accept it, because the law never returns void. Take a breath, show your shoulders, move around a little bit. When you're ready, open your eyes, bring your attention back to the room, and we'll listen to another wonderful song from Jeff.
In a far-off land, there lived a beautiful butterfly. In a kingdom full of blossom-covered trees. Winding through this paradise, a river danced along and played with the constant summer breeze. The butterfly found a tiny branch by the riverside and watched the water rushing who knows where. Carefully he sheltered from the power of the breeze, for surely it could toss him through the air. I'm a butterfly, he said, trivial and small, and in the greater scheme of things, I don't mean much at all. So I flap my wings to stretch myself and just enjoy the view. I'm a butterfly, what more can I do? One afternoon the butterfly asked the river, Madam, what makes you hurry so? What splendid destinations are you rippling toward? Where, oh where do you go? The river said, I'm headed for the ocean, and the summer breeze inspires me to race. My friend, you'd love the ocean, it's remarkable to see. Won't you join our friendly chase? I'm a butterfly, he said, trivial and small, and in the greater scheme of things, I don't mean much at all. So I'll flap my wings to stretch myself and just enjoy the view. I'm a butterfly, what more can I do? So the butterfly, he dreamed of the ocean. He longed to flutter high above the sea. But there are dangers in the sky for a tiny butterfly. So from his branch he asked a question of the breeze. What makes you chase the river towards the ocean? And the breeze told him the most amazing thing. I'm simply made up of the currents in the air that start from the movement of your wing, your tiny wing. You're a butterfly, my friend, powerful stretch yourself, might seem small to you, but you change the world with everything you do. So he stretched his wings and took off from the safety of his tree. And the butterfly finally saw the sea.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Wonderful prayer there. So we're running way ahead of schedule today. What can I do about that? Well, I don't know. It's Easter. Something's blossoming here. Go out and find an egg. If there is something that has come up for you that you would like to give voice to, if that still small voice suggested something to you during the silence, if you got another one of those aha moments that you'd like to share with us, then this is your chance. Go ahead and raise your hand and have an opportunity to bring something new into the world. Yeah. Go ahead, Sue Smith.
Well, I want to say thank you for all of this. What's the aha I'm getting now is that, yeah, our attention is our intention, which we have total control over. And, well, what comes to mind is a story of, somebody's in a parking lot saying, please God, I need a parking space. The person in front of them pulls out, they get a space and they say, oh, never mind. I got it. In other words, we discount our place in it and God's place in it, right? It's like, oh, the world just is on hold. The world just is a thing and our consciousness might be real, but we don't think the rest of, I'll just say for myself, sort of, like it's all just this play. But no, all of it does matter. I love that. Thank you for the story, the hummingbird, all of it. It's none of it's lost. And what Joe was saying, the reality of our attention and intention. So I just want to say thank you so much. And, this is just really lovely. If I have to leave early, I'm sorry, but thank you so much for this and everybody for attending, for the community and everything. It's priceless. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you. Yassi.
Hi, thank you so much. Sorry, my English is my second language. I understand better than talking. And I was very depressed and now I feel really good. I'm a musician. When I heard when they played and sing and whatever you explained, that was very helpful for me. And hopefully I can see you again on Meetup. How can I see your next meetings?
Well, it's pretty easy. You can go back to the meetup and they all get posted in the Philly Spiritual Adventures, or you can go to our website, which is at newthoughtphilly.org. And all the stuff is
okay on that website.
Our website has everything. And to make it really easy, we're here every Sunday at this time from 10:30 Eastern to 11:45. So different musicians, but the same theme every time.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I learned a lot from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Yassi. And just out of curiosity, where are you zooming from?
New York.
New York City or state?
I'm in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Originally, I'm from Iran. Totally different culture, but I learned a lot. Thank you.
Even the difference between Iran and Brooklyn. Just kidding, guys. Philadelphia humor here. Thank you. Robin, was your hand up before? Or did you want your hand to stay up?
Actually, yes, I had a fleeting thought for a second, but it came back. Out of the pain and chaos, there is beauty, and so often it is so easy to get caught up in the what I would call the negative and the despair, that you overlook the beauty. I know that has been my situation, and it's the amazingness of the world and the kindness of people. It never ceases to amaze me how situations can transpire in ways that and I know for myself, in ways I never expected. And this is and to be always open-minded and grateful and kind and loving, because the world needs more of that. And I just wanted to share that. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Robin. Yeah, I was we were together with friends earlier in the weekend, and there's a side effect of the exorbitant cost of eggs that my friend pointed out, is that there will be so much less food waste with Easter eggs this year. Because a lot of times people get them and decorate them and throw them away, and nobody's doing that this year. Carla. Carla?
Sorry, I couldn't
There
get
you go.
unmuted. Hi, everybody. Happy
Now we can hear you.
Easter. Happy last day of Passover, I think.
Yeah.
Rev, I don't know if you remember, but some time ago, maybe a little over a year ago, you did a talk on paying attention. And although it pops into my mind every once in a while, it stayed with me, it's not there all the time. And I think your talk today is going to help that to stay with me all the time. The combination of them, I'm going to actually look up when you did that, the paying attention, and listen to it again if possible, because what you say has such meaning to me with that topic. Well, with a lot of topics, but today, especially with the paying attention and the attention topic. So thank you. And it's good to see everybody. And I'm sorry my camera is off. And go Phillies.
Apology accepted. Go Phillies. There we go. All right. Let's do a little offering. Dina?
That's me.
That's you.
I turned the mic on.
You do. Do you have your digital Easter bonnet on still? There you go. And her digital lipstick.
You didn't have to say that part.
Why not? It's fun.
It is fun. Okay, so New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gifts you share help fund our work in the world. And the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there is a donate button on the website to make a donation by Zelle, credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen. You can unmute and we'll say the affirmation together. I live
in an abundant universe. I am one with the infinite source of all good.
I am a center of conscious prosperity. I enjoy the richness of life.
I bless my gifts.
I share my gifts with joy. I know that as I give, I do receive. So it is.
So it is. Thank you, Dina. Thank you all so very, very much. Jeff Lesser, one more for us, please. Something global.
There comes a time when you heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. Send them your heart, so they'll know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free, as God has shown us by turning stone to bread. So we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. When you're down and out, there seems no hope at all. But if you just believe, there's no way we can fall. Let us realize that changes only come when we stand together as one. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving all our lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. It's true, we'll make a better days, just you and me.
Thank you, Jeff Lesser. Thank you, everyone who is here today. Thank you, Benjamin, for making this work. Joe and Dina and Nia and Scopy and everybody who made the celebration happen, and everybody who's here participating in the celebration. There's a notion in software development of putting a little gift, a little goodie in, a little treat, a little surprise, something hidden, and they call it an Easter egg. And sometimes you're going through playing a game and you find the Easter egg, or you're just in a word processor. They sometimes have those. There are Easter eggs, and today being Easter, I will intend that there is a joyous Easter egg sitting there waiting for you. So let's close with a cacophony the way that we always do. Repeat after me. I am love. Go ahead and unmute. I am love.
I am love.
I am light.
I am light.
I claim my good.
I claim my good.
The Easter egg is mine.
The Easter egg is mine.
And I let the light shine.
I let my light shine.
And so it is.
And so it is. Amen.
Yes.
Thank you, Rev.
Thank you, Carly.
Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful.
Thank you,
Joe,
everyone.
do you have time to talk this